This episode of Trips to the Store has been brought to you with the help of viewers like you. Transmissions wouldn't be the show it is today if it wasn't for all of your support. Join our Patreon today at transmissionspodcast.com/support.
Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we show off all the awesome Transformer stuff we got this week. This video is part of our regular Transmissions podcast. You can check that out at our website, transmissionspodcast.com. We do 2 shows every week. Every Wednesday is Transmissions, a show all about Transformers toys and merchandise. Every Friday is Transmissions Alt Mode, all about Transformers comics and media. We also do our live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust, and that's every 2 weeks. And then we've got Transmissions Extra whenever we get to it. So you can find all our podcasts at transmissionspodcast.com, and you can subscribe at transmissionspodcast.com/subscribe. If you want to support the show, you can support us by becoming a Donatreon, and that means you can contribute money to us either on Patreon or PayPal, and that helps out the show, helps us finance the show, and helps us fund some cool prizes and contests and things. So if you want to support the show, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up for that. Another way to help out the show is to buy some merchandise from our TeePublic store, and that's at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. And that's where you can buy all our merch there, lots of cool shirts, other merchandise. And of course, you don't have to buy Transmissions merchandise. You can buy anything from TeePublic using that link, and that will help out the show. So just go to transmissionspodcast.com/shop for all your TeePublic shopping needs. So let's jump in and talk about the stuff we got this week. I am going to go first because I only have one thing. But it's a cool thing. I like it. It is issue number 2 of Last Bot Standing. And you can see we've got the character Moon there and looking a little rabid, a rabid rabbit. So that's a little scary. But yeah, Last Bot Standing number 2. This is, of course, written by Nick Roche with art by E.J. Sue. This is the Nick Roche cover. He did the cover art for all the issues, even though he's the writer. It's a really cool story. I'm liking it a lot. And this second issue cemented it. It made it a lot more interesting. So check these out.
Supposed to remind you of Monty Python in Search for the Holy Grail?
Maybe
the rabbit from there.
Vorpal Bunny, was that what it is? And
yeah,
the legendary black beast of Arg.
Maybe we'll have to ask Nick if we can get him on the show to talk about Last Bot Standing. Maybe he'll tell us. So I think we reviewed Last Bot Standing number 1 last week, so we'll get to number 2 probably very soon. So there it is. Okay, we're going to move on to Mike.
Well, I got just a couple of small things this week. I got 2 figures, one of which might even be a duplicate because I couldn't remember if I showed them off last time. So I'm showing off the Legacy Skids, which is a really neat figure. One of the last ones that I really needed to kind of finalize or finish up a lot of like the Neo G1, like the Neo Classics kind of collection that I got going on. So it's a really solid figure. I like him quite a bit. Very boxy. A lot of neat little accessories with him too. So that's always kind of cool. And the other figure that I'm showing off is kind of an unusual one. So this is, I believe it's Brawl. I could be actually wrong on the name, but I think they actually called him Brawl for this release. This is the Energon Combiner tank mold from the Target exclusive Bruticus Maximus like combiner set that came out. I think it was during Revenge of the Fallen or something like that. So I picked up this guy off of eBay just by himself because I have recently sold most of my Unicron Trilogy collection, and one of the last things that sold actually was the Bruticus Maximus Combiner set, like the original set that I had. And that set was combined with the Fans Project Explorer and Munitioner, if I recall their names right. Oh, excellent. Good. So they were combined for the longest time in that form. But now since that sold, I didn't have the some of the limbs. One of the folks on our Discord, and I am so sorry. I forget who exactly it was that sold it to me. Someone's gonna remind me in like a day, and I know I'm gonna feel like super bad about it. But someone sold me the Onslaught figure from that set, along with the the Vortex figure, the main body and one of the helicopters. And I've been using that as part of it. And the I think he was a Blight figure. I think that was the name of the original green tank from that set. I have been using that as the last limb. So I have finally replaced that with one of the figures from that Revenge of the Fallen set. And I'm looking at eBay right now, and someone is selling for the box for that, along with the other two figures from it, with all the missing accessories. So I might actually pick that up too. So that'd be kind of cool to have the full set for that. But yeah, so Brawl to refinalize my Bruticus Maximus Combiner with the Fans Project stuff. So yeah, kind of an unusual deep cut figure for this time.
I remember seeing that set. Friend had that set with the add-ons, and it was very cool to see it. He had it around the time when it was new, and I was like, holy shit, that thing looks like Bruticus, and that was really neat. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, there has been many Bruticai who have
Yep.
who have come out since then that are much better. But that set still kicks when it you see it all combined up.
It has a special place in my heart. Those two Fans Project figures were the first of like the very few third-party stuff that I actually had picked up. So I still have both those figures. They hold a very dear place to me. And yeah, keeping them like all together in that combined mode is I love the look.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Awesome. Cool. Okay, Darryl, you're up next.
All right. Well, the first figure I'm going to show off is one I've showed off before, but it's going to be relative to what we're going to talk about in alt mode. And this is my G1 Star Saber. This is one that I'm very happy to own, and when you hear about what we're doing in alt mode, you'll know exactly why I'm talking about it here today. And I love having this figure in my collection. I am still missing his gun, which the last time I saw I saw an original Star Saber gun come up on eBay, they were asking over $100 for it, which is ridiculous for an accessory for a Transformer. But if there's very little out there, you might have to pay for it. They do have repro ones, but I've never actually bought a repro part. Everything I have is original, so you never know. I might just get one at some point. Anyway, G1 Star Saber. I am hoping to get a G1 Victory Leo soon. So the new figure that I have this week is a very different kind of figure. One that I've seen floating around for a bit, and this is one that this is Energon High Wire. This is a motorbike. He is High Wire from Energon, but he goes with Energon Kicker.
I was wondering if Kicker too.
So little kicker here. I don't really care about High Wire all that much, but it is quite possibly the only humanoid figure produced in the main line.
Is the
So-
elastic still holding his torso together?
Oh yeah, he works.
So he's essentially a GI Joe.
He's a GI Joe. Yeah. And the sword he has is actually from a different version of this figure. But when I found him, he had this sword in his hand, and I was like, oh, I'll just keep him with it. So whatever. Yeah. So Energon Kicker, and yeah, whatever. It's a GI Joe Transformers figure with his vehicle that does transform into a robot. It looks like shit. So you just it's his sidekick. Yeah, or or yeah, what is it? So what did I say? Sidewire?
High wire.
High wire. Yeah, high wire.
High
There we go.
wire.
Don't even
Kick-
know. I
Kicker's sidekick, high wire.
so yeah, but the main draw for me was getting Kicker. So yeah, there you go.
He is actually nearly impossible to fix if his elastic breaks because of that energon crystal in his backpack. It's actually glued in, and you would have to heat it up and try to like melt or dissolve the glue in order to pull that crystal out in order to get to the screw that's holding his torso together.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, there are a number of these that I've seen come in and out of the store that the legs are broken apart. So I think the knees are quite fragile. Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, he's complete and non-broken, so that's why I picked him up.
Nice.
And that's it.
All
That's all I
right.
got.
We're gonna wrap things up with Jeremy.
All right. And I haven't been on in a couple weeks, so I have a number of things. Start off with 6 comics. Thanks, Darryl. Start off, I have a couple Beast Wars. I have Beast Wars 15. This is the John Jennings cover. And then 16, and this is the Emilio Lopez cover. These over here. And then main Transformers series number 42. This is the Blackie Shepherd cover. 43 is the Stefano Simone cover. And then wrapping it up, I have War's End number 4. This is Jack Lawrence's cover. It's also kind of has something to do with what we're going to talk about in alt mode.
A little.
Spoilers.
And then the Best of Hot Rod. This is the James Biggie cover. I think it's the only cover for it. It's got like 5 or 6 stories in here. Really cool. Oops. And then see, that's all the comics. But I also got a Father's Day present. Kind of big.
Oh,
Got the Lego Optimus Prime.
Nice.
And
awesome.
my son and I have been working on it some today. In the amount of time we had, I was able to get this much done. Basically, the torso and his chest. It is really, really neat how you do this. Chest opens up. There's the matrix compartment, which is actually like the first thing you build is the matrix compartment. So I'm really enjoying this. One thing that I couldn't stop seeing as I was building it is this other little face in the back of his midsection. So it's like this can move where his head goes. It completely flips around. So I mean, just the mechanics in this thing are really cool. Well, I have the back showing. You can see this is where his arms will come in here with ball joints, I think. But you know, they move. His legs are. Listen to this. It's got some nice clicky joints in here. So it's really cool. Nice, really good rubber tires. You know, Lego, I think, makes the most tires of any company in the world. But yeah, this will be good, and I'm probably gonna pull a Darryl and be showing this off for the next couple weeks as it progresses. But yeah, Yeah, this had it for a few weeks, but I held off opening the box until Father's Day, so which is today as we record it. So this was maybe 2 hours of work, if that. Uh, so my son did probably about half of it with me yelling at him to like stop just grabbing at parts because I wanted to do more orderly. But it was fun. So that is what I got this week.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Jealous.
Jetty.
It was like I happened to be awake at midnight when things went live for it, and I'm like, oh, this was already a pre-approved purchase that my wife and I had agreed on, so buying it without guilt.
Awesome. Well, that will do it for this week's Trips to the Store. Thanks everyone for watching. Again, if you want to help out the show, you can support us as a donation on Patreon and PayPal. You can go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. That's where you can sign up. If you want to leave us feedback, you can go to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback and leave us a voicemail, send us an email, contact us on social media, even leave comments right below. That's a way to get in touch too. We love getting feedback and we really appreciate it. So send it in. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, all.
Later.